when I die with my little safety net, like my all health be
Who
like
cares?
all out of
You're
milieu.
useless. You're 0-2 already, right? Like,
Right.
you dying is the best case scenario if somebody has to die. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair. I see what you mean by that. Like, I don't have a bounty on my head, so if I die, then it's not a big issue.
Yeah. Like, if you dying lets Tristana clean up here, like, that is really, really good. Nice. And then you leave. Whoa, you guys might int into the Victor. Yeah, Rumble overstayed, and that's on him. It is what it is.
Minions have spawned.
And I would go right back bot lane.
Okay, right now.
Oh!
Don't mess with Victor with the 1v1 here. All right.
What even is this?
Okay, that's the one that I pointed out where he walks up to the Victor when there's no way.
I think
Yes,
it was.
So what do you think?
I think it was Rel being here, even though she's taking the wave. I thought she might be crazy to try to go in. I don't know. Like something about the body language of her like linking up and everything. I thought she might want to 2v1 Victor. So I thought, okay, maybe he was waiting for an opportunity to dive in or something. I don't know.
You guys win this 2v1? Like, you guys don't have the damage to kill him if you guys have 30 seconds of hitting him for free. Like,
Alright, yeah.
You guys don't kill him ever. You should take Rel. The beauty of Rel being here is you guys are on perfect tempo. Let's go kill somebody. Let's break this tower. Let's free up Trist for the map. Do you see how, like, there's this concept. I want to make a video on this, so talking about this will help me kind of get my thoughts correct. I think Curtis calls it zooming in and zooming out. It's the idea of, he says you zoom in when we look at what's happening on your screen, and that would be like mechanics of the lane. And then zooming out would be looking at like the overall map and what needs to happen. So in this game, the biggest thing is we need to zoom out and see what's happening on the map and play directly. You have no opportunity to do fancy stuff mid because you don't do anything. So there, like, this game should be a very boring, well, it should be a creative game for you, but in terms of like mechanics and what's happening on your screen, it should be very, very boring.
And that's because I am behind and can't do much against anybody anyways.
Yeah, it's because all of the map players are bottom.
Right.
So you should just be bottom. You should never be in lane. Like ever. And then you should just sit on Tristana. And whenever she's down to play, we should play with her.
Yeah, I think I still have the mentality of I only want to go roam bottom if I'm confident that I can assist and get the kill, but if I feel weak, I feel like I have to like level up in a sense in mid or something.
An enemy has been slain.
Yikes. You compensate her into doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is I felt compensated to staying in mid because she was nearby.
Yeah, you guys had like a negative feedback loop with each other. Holy. So if I was coaching Garel, what would I tell her?
Why stay with the inting Ari? Go help your Tristana, who's super
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why are we roaming mid if our bot lane's ahead and Ari's 0-2? Makes zero sense. But yeah, so the biggest thing from this game is just kind of the idea of zooming out and playing the map a little bit harder. Like, you almost got too tunnel vision on your lane. Like, understanding the way you fit into teams. You don't fit into teams by leveling up. Who does that? There are some champions that do that, and it's not Ari.
I assume the hyper carry squad, like Tryndamere, Evelyn.
Yeah, all the hyper carries. Tryndamere's not one of them, but yeah, exactly. They need levels. Victor needs levels. If you're playing mid to level up, you are just playing Victor's game, and you'll never win, right? Actually, that's what Twist said last night. I think he said those words exactly. Were you in class when we talked about this comment on one of my videos, this Annie comment? Where I did some Annie coaching a couple weeks ago that I put on YouTube. And this guy asked like a million times. He said he's a gold 1 player, right? Let me double, yeah, gold 1. And he said, I'm just going to write the timestamps of spots that I have questions on. And he's just asking my opinion. And pretty much every timestamp in the coaching, he was asking, isn't it better to just pressure mid and take farm? Isn't it better to push mid wave? Isn't it better to push mid wave and get turret? I think Annie should have got the wave here. Why don't we get the wave? So pretty much every point is just him asking about the wave, right?
Yeah.
And it's because we have this like idea that bigger CS equals winning. It's just
more
wrong.
gold, right?
It's just
No?
wrong. Yeah, people think more gold equals winning. No. Gold is a tool. A tool to win fights. It's a tool to accomplish like breaking the nexus. Gold is a tool. It's not a measurement of success. Can be, and certain champions need certain things, but your champion doesn't rely on having high gold to be useful. Same thing with Annie, right? A lot of her raw usefulness comes from her AoE stuns and her point and click stuns. That's why she has the best 2v2 in the game. Well, guess who has a very similar thing in her kit? Ari, right? Like you have the charm. It's the exact same thing. You don't get a lot of value from the waves if there's something else to be doing. So your your biggest tool is your charm.
Shut down.
Your charm is insane. It doesn't require any gold to work. It doesn't require anything. And gold barely makes it work better. Barely. Like it almost does nothing. It'll do 50 more damage when you get death cap. Sweet.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? You know, some haste will make it come up faster. That's good, obviously, right? But anyways, like that's the best you're gonna get. For Victor, all he has is a damage line. He can do anything else except damage. But when he buys an item, he uses. Oh, Twiz, do you know the numbers? For Victor Laser and the Aftershock, do you know how much AP percent it does? It's like 120% or something of the AP you buy.
I don't actually know the number.
Like, that's crazy, right? 120% of the AP you buy, he gets for one of his lasers. That's on a very short cooldown. He needs gold. He needs it. That's how he wins the game. But you don't. Now, if you can get a ton of gold, great. But the thing we're missing here is how you're useful.
You have slain an enemy.
If you were playing Kale, they need another resource, which we talked about earlier. They need XP. They need to actually level up. Like, literally, they need to level up. They need experience. So if a Kale was behind, what are we going to tell a Kale?
Farm solo, try not to die too much, right?
Yeah,
So you
we are
can-
going to shun them to the side lane as far away from the interaction as possible. And pray that the Nexus doesn't fall, right, until they hit 16. And that's
By the
how we
way,
can get back to the game.
Jamie, it's a lot less than you thought it is.
90%?
It's 50 on the normal laser and 80 on the augmented.
Yeah. So I meant combined.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Slain.
Okay, so yeah, if we talk to a Victor who's behind, we're just gonna tell him to go get as much gold as possible, which means running in between two lanes, taking all the camps in between, and just kind of nuking everything. Right, that's what the carries are going to do. These are like the Victors, the ADCs. Like when an ADC is behind, that's what we're gonna tell them to do. Do whatever you can to get as much gold as possible. If we're talking about an Ari and an Annie that's behind, what is our number one priority?
Play
not
with the
gold,
team
it's
as
not XP.
I can think, right?
Yeah, it's like what's a kind way to say this?
Charm the aggressor.
Yeah, exactly. It's just supporting, really. Because you can support for free. So you have to understand who is doing all the other things, and then how can you support them best. Sometimes it'll be just sitting on your AD, charming whoever comes into them. Sometimes it'll be sitting out of vision. Sometimes it will be creating a pick. That's all like all of your individual champ knowledge. But sitting mid here doesn't actually help you do your job. So if you're ahead,
Shut down.
you get to deny Victor his gold by crashing waves, poking him, killing him, taking his tower, and be a very good support. But when you're behind, you kind of have to sack. TLDR, when behind, complicate the game and use your kit to its fullest extent.
Okay.
Understand how our champion works a little bit. But yeah, just complicate the game. All right, should we look at the second one? Does anybody else have VODs, I guess, before we move on? If not, we'll look at the second one.
It's funny because that's kind of what I said while the game was going on. I'm like, you're the support now.
Yeah, a lot of the things I said, I remember Twiz saying in the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more, but as I mentioned before, it's really hard to adjust on the fly while you're in there. It's like, okay, I need to
Oh,
know
yeah.
what the hell it really means. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, 100%. 100%. No, I just think it's funny. Twiz knows. Twiz is smart, and he knows Victor very, very well. He knows that if he's the Victor there and you're just killing your bot lane on repeat, he's gonna be like, shit, how can I carry this one? Right.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like deja vu, same side.
Same side,
matchup.
same lane matchup. And funny you brought up Kale, because
Yeah, we got a Kale now.
Oh,
Holy.
this is the one that I give you the tip about the CS, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. This is the one
That you
So
might have to explain.
not to lose my farm under tower too much. Yeah.
Oh,
wave
yeah,
coming.
yeah. It's my favorite Victor skin.
Is this you on your Smurf?
Yeah, Jamie was playing 2 games at the same time. That's how low quality my gameplay is. That he can handle that.
Ooh, that was a nice little trade.
He just alt tabs between the games.
Yeah.
You guys ever play Victor? He's boring. This is crazy.
I was like, okay, hi Sion, how's
Whoa.
it going?
Yeah, exactly. That's the one that I was like, there's a Scion coming towards your lane.
I was like, yeah, I know he's gonna.
Oh,
But I thought he was just gonna chill in the bush and wait for me to I was gonna go to the bush to ward, and he'll like cue me to stun me or something. I was like, yeah,
Oh, wait. Look at the Nico's pathing as well. Because she went to her
Yeah.
red,
Nico.
and then she saw the
Oh.
Scion sitting there, and she's like, yeah, fuck no, and just walked.
Yeah.
An enemy
I was
has
like,
been
okay,
slain.
yeah, whatever.
Well, she gets to invade. Yeah, she is clearing in the most unhealthy fashion possible.
Nunu showed up.
Yeah, Nunu has done a grand total of 1 camp, I believe. Oh, no, he's done 2. Good on him.
I think
Okay.
I burned flash. I did.
I would just back here because you are like in flash range. Dude, this
Wait,
is
she's
so
walking
dumb.
up as the blue buff.
This is so dumb.
Does that make her slower?
I think so. Look at it.
Yeah,
It looks
it
slow.
did.
Extremely.
Shut
Being a
down.
ward is the slowest.
And then she turns into it.
This champion is so dumb, man.
Honestly, I wasn't focusing on anything what Nico was doing. I was like, okay, you coming to ganker? No, okay, no, fine. That's okay.
I love playing Nico support. I'm level 3, I'm never in bot lane.
Swapping. I think she was just learning how this might be her first Nico game.
Yeah, I didn't get to see
Yeah.
this in the moment.
Yeah, I was more or less focused on the fact that I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna lose so much.
Okay, so we go back. Definitely.
Why is there a snowball on the
feel
minimap? What the hell?
awkward. It's a replay bug.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I could see where Nunu was the whole time?
Bro, the scuttle crab gank, man, that's crazy. It worked.
An ally
Jax didn't even bat an eye. He's like, oh yeah, the scuttle's just making his walk up.
Oh wow, the new patch, they must have made it so Scuttle walks to top lane now.
This is such a fiesta. The good news is, this should be, well,
This is my question for a thing, like, how do I decide where to path and like where I want to roll, where I want to prioritize doing all that? Because both Vayne and I know I can't do Kale because she's weak as hell, but so is
it's
Vayne.
wherever Nico's going.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Kale,
Yeah,
Kale and Vayne are both strong in their own right. It's just wherever
Yeah.
Nico's at.
got it. Okay.
An enemy has been slain.
So like here, you could have ran bottom out of base if you thought this was gonna be a big fight. Not saying you should have, but I am saying you should think about it.
Okay.
Oh, Kale TP'd for it. That is something alright. Yeah, so now Nico's clearing her camps. You should just chill and do nothing. You can let him push. So, in this situation, what I would be thinking about is teammates are all in base. Nico's clearing. Everybody's off tempo. I want to give this push. Because if I push, I'm going to die to Nunu or whatever. But while he pushes, what can you gain when he spends resources on pushing? You can attack his health pool. So that's what I'd be thinking about.
Okay.
I'd be
Yeah,
trying to
it's
keep
there's
him
definitely a weird thing for me to try to absorb of like the whole, because I've always been like doing myself of, okay, if I'm a lane bully, I need to always have priority, right? But
strong. Yikes, bro.
the situation, and I was like, come on, he knows he knows Nico, like you're not fooling anybody with this one.
I hate when melee minions get sidetracked and get distracted by the things in the bush. Holy. If she full commit to it, like she would have got on top of him, I think.
If she went to the
Should've saw
backside
the
and
thing.
came up,
Yeah.
that's how Nunu was. I was like, oh crap. I don't think I died here, and I thought, okay, Nico should get the victor, right? In the meantime, I'll just deal with this Nunu. This is actually kind of funny. All right. So
Bro.
okay. Okay. No, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Rampage.
Hey.
It's tragic that we died, but
Tragically, we died. Yeah, because there's a charm back, but also tragic that Nico didn't get the victor kill. I was like, no.
yeah, this game has been insane. I love these games because they're really a test of your mechanics. And it's been a super valuable game so far, so very good stuff. I think the biggest theme from yesterday and these two VODs is this theme of like zooming out though. Zooming out,
Okay.
taking like looking at the map, understanding how do you guys win? How do you help your team win? How do you be most useful?
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, definitely. I think because from the last VOD review, the whole time I've been focusing on all my games was, you know, try not to be in mid, try to push it, try to help the team out, which did give me a large win streak initially. Like that's how I got into Gold 1 in the first place. Almost even hit plat. But
Not bad.
but it's like one of those I gotta like extra layer on top is the whole know when to not try pushing aggressively for anything.
Well, yeah, in this game, it's exactly right. You should never be in lane with Victor. But since you're trying to push at bad times, you actually get stuck in lane longer. So
Yeah.
by giving correctly,
Turret has been destroyed.
by tactically, what's it
Pulling
called?
back.
Yeah. Tactically retreating, you will
Yeah.
actually be on the map more, which is
Yeah.
super counterintuitive. But that's the idea. The idea is to keep pushing and roaming better.
Right.
But if you just slam your head into the brick wall, it will slow you down.
Yeah. That's just the part I feel like I was missing actually, is that the whole I can tactically retreat and still be and still end up on the map more without losing that much XP and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah.
Oh, wow, this Nico is making me lose my
Holy,
mind.
Grump just cleared the ward.
God.
Has been destroyed.
You know, I like this idea. I like this idea a lot, right?
Yeah, man. Like, she's...
This
Okay,
idea
sorry,
honestly
bro.
is not bad. This idea is not bad. I will give her credit here.
Okay, let's take a little bet here, boys. So she gets here at 9:21. How long do you think she stays, Stel?
I'm throwing at 950, I think.
9:50? Okay. I think I'm gonna guess 9:45. Okay, I was gonna guess lower. I'm gonna go 9:42. Let's see.
Wait. Nunu's top side. Let's see. Nunu's gonna be pathing. Wait.
You're just passing on top.
There's no way she
Yeah.
stays until Nunu gets here, though,
So it's
right?
no. She definitely does. I'm telling you, trust. So it's got to be like
So she just stay till 10 minutes.
maybe Nunu ganks top. So maybe like maybe 10 minutes. I'll say 10 minutes. Maybe even 10 minutes, like 10 seconds. If she's really dedicated.
I think she gives up if Nunu ganks top.
I bet she gives up in 20 seconds.
Yeah, like if he shows top, then she just gives up.
Wait for it. We're at 30.
She
Oh,
left after 10
wow.
seconds.
Holy shit! This
Patient
player's
Nico
so patient.
player.
But she's
Yeah,
still staying as
she's
Gromp,
not even
though.
committed.
There we go. Now she's Blitzcrank.
She's not committed to anything.
Dude,
in
I'm
this game.
sitting at that fucking Grump until Nunu shows up.
Yes.
Hey, which Blitzcrank's the real Blitzcrank, right?
If I'm playing for fun, I'm committing.
Yeah, that's right. If I'm playing for
right.
fun, we're having lots of fun. Let me tell you. Okay, and Victor's going bottom. This is actually so good for you.
So what should I do in this case when Victor's going bottom? So I ping my team
go
that,
top.
hey, just go top? Even though there's no one there on top.
Yep. oh yikes, following bottom is like the worst thing you could do. But imagine you were walking top.
I helped Kale turn this around.
You get Kale out for sure. Maybe even kill them.
Okay.
Maybe even kill them.
In my mind, I
But
was
going
like,
bottom, like this is super low value. 'Cause even if you kill Victor, it doesn't help anybody do anything, right?
right,
Doesn't
okay.
help the map at all.
I don't think I do kill Victor here, just to...
I think,
Or maybe I do.
think you get him? Unless he like slithers away again. This guy.
The Blitzcrank, I think, gets him. Yeah, my W can hit, but the Blitzcrank is...
Oh, Blitz got the shutdown. Okay, well, the good news is you guys got kill participation. on
And
two people.
then... Yeah.
Bad news
that's
is
real.
Blitz stole the shutdown.
Yeah. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking push this and go to Herald right now, but then Nico backs off, so I'm like, okay, I'll...
Yeah, and it's just late. You can't
Yeah.
go to Herald if they're already like taking it, right? You have
Yeah,
to
okay.
get the Kale out, you know, do your homework, and then the Herald's free. If we would have went
Got
top
it.
earlier, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of ways to internalize the zoom in, zoom out thing. Like, how am I gonna create the habit to look at that in game? It's kind of that's the tricky
Yeah.
part, really.
What in a VOD we did earlier, one of the big questions I was asking is what information is relevant. In your reviews, I want you to be asking that a lot. What information is most relevant at this moment? So, for the whole past two VODs, we've been talking about what do you think? What do you think has been most relevant?
Is it relevant or just more so? What do you think should happen? I think
The
was
most
question.
important information that we've been paying attention to.
Okay. That'd be the way to. That'd be the. So that's the question I should ask myself. Like, what's important right now? What's
Yeah.
important right now?
And so over these past two VODs, what have we been talking about? Well, that's what you're going to ask in your reviews. You can't ask it
Yeah.
and this is how you're going to create your learning objectives.
Yeah.
So you're going to focus on the information that's really important to focus on. These past two games, it's been your jungle and your strong side's backs, really.
Right.
So when your jungle is backing and your bot lane is backing. When you hear that announcer tell you your jungle got a kill, your brain should go, it's back time.
Right.
And that's been the information that we've been really missing in the past
Okay.
vlogs.
I definitely don't keep track of that. Yeah. Currently.
But
yeah.
and it will change from game to game, so that's why you need to ask in your own reviews as well. But for the Victor situation, where you have a jungle who has very high threat, we gotta be matching our tempo with them. Okay, this game's starting to get out of hand, and they like really hard outscale us
An enemy has been slain.
in pretty much every lane.
At this point, I was like, I'll just side lane now, ban in mid, let Vayne take care of mid.
Has been slain.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like how you guys win. I don't think there's a really good answer. I'm not sure we're winning this one.
Yeah.
This is also one that's not as bad to lose. Because everybody, like literally everybody lost. To win this game, you'd have to be like a hard smurf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about this one. The first one, you should have been able to win.
Right.
Maybe if Kale gets to 16 and Vayne gets fed, it's playable. Like you pulling the Nunu bottom, this is perfect. Like this is very well played.
Was my whole intention of constantly hitting the tower there and not going big. So I'm like, okay, if I can pull Jax or Noonan toward me, maybe my team can win. There we go. Kale got some kills.
Yeah, and I think that's the last win con we have is Kale and Vayne getting super fed.
Yeah.
But we will see.
So I'm just now like alternating, trying to do the same thing again pretty much, just trying to pull you toward me. I thought, should I have been mid for this? Because I don't know if I win against Jax is the problem. But maybe I killed Jax there with an ult, I don't know.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Like, I've had Jax's kill me when they
I
were
would
super
go
low
Liandry's
health.
Shut down.
this game, like pretty
Go
much
Liandry's?
every time,
Okay.
by the way. Yeah. Liandry's is so good here. If you're into, well, pretty much their whole team builds a ton of health. This guy is going Serast. Serast still builds out of health, right?
I don't think so anymore. Actually, yes, it does. Yeah.
It's Large Rod and Kindle Gem.
Yeah, it's
and
Kindle
Tear,
Gem.
right?
So yeah.
Yeah. Everybody on the team builds so much health, and Everfrost isn't that useful. And the burst damage is really like negative useful.
Right. Like I was trying to think that my job might be to help take out the Ezreal before any fight or something, but I was trying to skirmish a little bit. I'm like, no, I can't even get close to this guy.
Yeah,
If this game was like in a more even game state, would Everfrost be fine? Because I feel like your team has a lot of damage.
yeah. Your win cons are Kale and Vayne. Think about how those fights are going to play out. Do they need you to kill Ezreal?
I figured that it might need me to at least lock him in place so Vayne can land a condemn or Kale can do something with it, right?
Well, if Ezreal in, then you just kill him.
Right, but I'm saying that like root him down long enough that Vayne can land a condemn with it, or like if I hit Everfrost on Ezreal, then he just dies automatically.
Oh yeah, Vayne's going to like tumble through the whole team. Use Scion. Scion the new Jax to condemn Ezreal. Yeah, I think that's
what the charm is for the next person that goes on Vayne.
Yeah, or something like that. No, you won't have a lot of access to Ezreal this game.
Okay.
You could argue that Everfrost is good to kite, to peel the Vayne, right? Because like Jax is gonna jump in, Sion's gonna ult in, and you could Everfrost kite. So you could argue that, and that's not bad.
Your turret has been destroyed.
It's not like the item's awful here, but I would go Landers every time. You're definitely not going to be Everfrosting Ezreal often. Ooh.
Imagine this with the charm in there.
Yeah, it's just hitting. Even if you hit the Ezreal, you don't really get anything there.
Yeah, I maybe get him down to like 200 HP, but
The Landers will give you more charms, and will make you a lot more useful, a lot more often, and will make your side target better. Yeah, so this game was just a lot of little things. There was nothing major from this one.
okay. But the previous one had enough major things as well with it, which was the main one of I wasn't playing to Tristana as much as I should have been. Right?
Yeah, we
And
talked
I
about
was-
some major things.
Yeah.
Um,
Just constantly ramming my head into a wall there, pretty much with the
Yeah.
with the shoving constantly, right?
exactly. So we are keeping ourselves in lane too much by trying to crash every wave, which really, really sucks. But if you can choose the right waves, if we can choose the right waves to give, our pressure will 10x and we'll die less. Like,
How do
it's
we
crazy.
identify the correct ways to give? Like, what's the
That's a good question. Over the past 2 games, it's been the same theme. Or why are we allowed to give waves?
Well, I could give a wave when I saw that Tristana and who's my jungler, that game Rumble, weren't going to be on the map, even if I was to gain the push, right?
Yeah. So
So,
the
be
simple
taking-
rule is, if our team's off tempo, we should be off tempo. Like, that's the simplest way to say it. A more
Okay.
complicated way to say it is, if they can't get positive pressure from the push, then you can give it. And that's something
Okay.
that you would look at in your reviews. Like, what could he possibly gain from this push? If there's not a
Okay.
positive outcome, or any more positive than if you contested it, then
And to be also fully clear as well, this is something you're telling me to do because I was behind. If, let's just say, I was 2-0 against the Victor, right? Like, he died to me and the Wukong died to me in jungle, like right, whatever. Then, would the strategy of trying to constantly crash and just poking around in jungle for a pick be okay or no?
the question remains the same, but the answers are different because the situation is different. So the question is still, if you can't get anything with the push, or if he can't get anything with the push, give it, right? So
Okay.
when you're more ahead, you have more opportunity inherently. So chances are you'll be able to push more often.
Opportunity, what do you mean by that? Like, that I can...
Somewhere to go, something to do, a fight to
Okay.
take, right? Just
It's
some
like
sort
if
of
you're
pressure to have.
10-0, you can fight 1v3 and still win.
Yeah, so like the more ahead you are, the more often you will do it. But
So
it's
I
the same
can take
question.
more
If
crazier
there's no reason to
plays.
push, don't push. right? Like, it's it's kind of like stupid to say out loud, but really, like, if there's no actual play, and you have to get very specific with it. If there's no actual map play, like you can't say, I'm pushing to pull pressure, like that doesn't mean anything, right? Like you have to be like, okay, I'm pushing because I know Nunu is on, I know he's on his Raptors, and I know that he'll come in after rounds. And that's a positive thing, because my team is on the map, and if he comes mid, my team gets to back easier. So you have to
Oh,
get
so
very,
it's
very
not
specific
taking
with it.
crazier plays. It's if you're ahead enough, the play is not crazy. It's a sane play. Never take crazy plays, except if you're bored.
No, I see what you mean. Like for example, if I was 5-0, I have a higher chance of winning I dive the enemy jungle while he's taking Herald than I will if I'm 0-10.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like I
I'd
wouldn't
say you have a
contest.
0 chance, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like if I'm 0-10, I shouldn't go anywhere near the enemy jungle taking Herald unless the top laner and jungler are there.
Unless
maybe.
Triss is there in that game.
Unless Triss
right?
is there,
If
yeah.
Triss is there, then we're gonna go sit on top of Triss. We're gonna like, let's get it, baby.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, if Triss isn't there, it's not doing it.
Got it.
Complicate the
okay,
game
I
with
think that makes
behind.
sense now. Yeah.
We can take more plays with less. Oh boy, how do you spell guaranteed? There's like U's and E's in here. It's close enough, you know what I mean. We can take more plays that that are less guaranteed when we're behind to make it tricky for Victor, right? So if we have to choose between one wave or coin flipping a kill, we're gonna flip the kill when behind.
Right.
You have to, or you will just get squeezed out by the Victor.
Right.
So complicate the game when behind. We're trying to keep ourselves in lane too much, and then just general kind of zooming out and understanding how the team wins. We have to understand win cons, and we have to understand our role within that. To understand our role within that, and then we have to understand like what that means has to happen. Right? When we had the conversation about gold, you don't need gold for Trist to carry you, right? You need to go peel Trist.
Right.
And that's kind of what that's about. Kind of just zooming out a little bit, understanding how the game is going to end when it does. And that's something with an infinite skill cap. So that's something to always think about. How can you visualize things happening and winning? All right. Super good VODs, man. Thanks for bringing them in. I think these were super fun conversations. Any other questions or anything?
It's, as usual, a lot of information that we have to slowly perfect and process over a couple of games.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like, it makes sense now while I'm thinking about it, but it's like one of those, as I start playing, trying to do it, I'll start sucking in some other things that I gotta, like, you know, balance it out a little bit, right?
Yeah. And I'm trying to give you tools for your review as well.
No, that's also what I appreciate as well. Like, what can I see in a game?
A lot
to
of it
be
is
like,
stuff
okay.
that you're gonna have to go feel it and then challenge your own self in the review.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, the way I knew, like, which side was strong and stuff is, like, I just tracked the vision that I could see in my lanes, and it's like, oh, which one forms the bigger triangle? Ah, I've got lots of control here. Do you know what I mean? Like, if top lane and mid lane are pushed out, they form a bigger triangle than the mid tower to bottom tower, kind of. So it's like, because my whole team's top side right away, I'll have more vision triangle on that side. Like, that's the way I kind of thought of it in my mind, right?
Yeah.
So it became like a visual trigger for me to go, okay, think about this side for playing.
I love that. And everybody has their own kind of visual triggers and kind of things they visualize in the map. So that's beautiful that you're able to kind of do that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other VOD takers? If not, I'm probably going to go play the fifth Master
I was gonna say I'm here for the games.
Okay. Yeah, we'll probably do that.
Has been slain.
Leo, how are you doing, man?
I don't want to play. I'm not ironically don't want to play. I was gonna play a block today. I queue up to just warm up with Mur for a couple of Yasuo games, and this person is playing Volibear, and she shouldn't be playing Volibear. And I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Dude,
So
I heard
I'll
Mur
do a
signed
vlog tomorrow.
I heard Mur signed you up for the coachathon on Sunday.
Oh yeah. It's like it's
It's gonna
fine.
be lit. It's gonna be fun. No, I figured that I haven't played on my main account in a week. I've actually had more fun playing the 9 promos on this account than I've had in a while.
Yeah. Jamie, do you know the definition of insanity?
Doing promos 9 times in a row.
And expecting different results?
Just expecting good teammates. No, yeah,
It's
this
like
morning, I'm
I'm-
gonna show you the games from this morning. Look at this. This one and this one from this morning.
Yeah, you told me you got aces all around. Very
You
good.
keep getting back in after one game, right?
No, because I went 0-2. So yeah, I had to win 2, and then I was winning 1, and then...
It's like Jamie decided that his MMR is too good, so he's fixing it.
Yeah. Yeah, the MMR this kind of is so good, and the thing about promos is they're so good for MMR.
They are there.
But it's making them harder, so it's like, fuck, dude. I just wanted to be ambassador so I could be done. Alright,
I'm still living high on the Druid games, and I don't want to play with normal shitters anymore. It's like I need to be on stream with people.
I've
I
enjoyed
need.
this account like a lot. Who's Triton, by the way? Do you guys know this guy? I recognize his name, but
He's a Garen main.
I think, yeah.
I played with him on this account.
Oh,
last
wait.
game.
He's got a Twitch stream. LOL Triton.
Oh yeah, I think I'm following this guy. I
Jamie,
knew I
you
recognized his
have the chance. Tyler won. He's still in your MMR, I think.
No.
He's at the
Masters?
top of the list.
Oh, of course he is. I don't know why I'm.
Victory.
I think he's still playing.